Hello aspirants, welcome to the Hi-Fi of the Day, Daily Current Affairs by Alchemy IAS Institute. My name is Suhas. We are going to discuss the 5 most important news topic of the day which will be relevant for your UPSC preparation. The main important news was Uttarakashi flash flood following by a cloud burst. So what was the reason for this flash flood? The main reason, one is that cloud burst happened. Cloud burst is a sudden precipitation of rain, and another reason is the rugged topography of Uttarakashi. And the landslide and mudslide happened, followed by this sudden cloud burst, and the flash flood happened. Flash flood is like a sudden inundation of water. It's a uh, rather than what make it different from a normal flood is the time duration. Flash flood happened in a very short duration of time, and followed by that landslide and mudslide happened there. And the reason for this landslide and mudslide was the limited vegetation and the loose moraine of the soil of Uttarakashi, which is a part of Himalayan region. And the impact of climate change is also there because of this uh, global warming. The glacier melting was there. That was another impact that added a fuel to the flash flood. And mining activities, it was not directly affected, but in Uttarakhand, mining activities also cracked the soil, cracked the tight pack of soil. So that also resulted in this landslide and the mudslide. Yesterday, August 5 was a 6th year of the abrogation of Article 370 and the loss of statehood of Jammu and Kashmir. So, what was the change? What happened in this last 6 years in the political sphere? The democratic activities got resumed to an extent, but there was limitations there because still these areas under the control of the lieutenant governor. And in security, it got improved, but it got fragile after the Pahalgam attack. That the security arrangement got questioned after the Pahalgam attack. And in economy, investment surge is there, but still the dependency, that fiscal reliance remains on central government. 70% dependency on the central grant. And in tourism, it was booming, yes, but after this Pahalgam terror attack, there was a speculation, there was a doubt about this tourism sectors. And about the restoration of statehood, many demanding the restoration of statehood. If the statehood need to be restored, only the parliament can do it by amending the constitution under Article 3 and amending the reorganization act. Then the parliament can grant a statehood to a union territory. For that, only simple majority is needed, but the prior permission of the president is required for amending Article 3. Bongbong Marcos Jr., the Philippines president, okay, visited to India. Name is Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. So what is this? Why his visit to India is relevant? 3 Indian Navy ships are participating in the naval exercise in Philippines. So it is a strategic move. It's a strategic advantage for India. And in the South China Sea context, the current president, that Marcos Jr. has taken a tougher stand on China compared to his predecessors, like Rodrigo Duterte. Like earlier, Philippines was pro-Chinese. Now, Philippines is not pro-Chinese, but supporting India and US, condemning the South China Sea issues like that Chinese 9-dash line and claim on South China Sea. And its government is strengthening the ties with US and India and countering China's aggression and Indian Philippines strategic alignment. Like we are improving maritime security, defense technology strategy, like exchange is there, and like technology exchange is there, and regional stability. On regional stability, India and Philippines is joining hand. And India already has an Act East policy, and India's Indo-Pacific strategy also, Philippines is important. And military and economic alliance, the Southeast Asia and the China's assertiveness also, Philippines is important for India. And India is important for Philippines also. And so what is this India-Philippine defense type? Philippines is the first country that buy BrahMos, first BrahMos export in April 2024 to Philippines, the first foreign buyer of India's BrahMos supersonic cruise missile. And a growing security cooperation, India aiming to deepen the defense engagement in Southern Asia nations, particularly in those facing Chinese aggression. So this is India's strategic move against the Chinese aggression and Chinese claim in South Asia. And a common concern is that both nations are wary of Chinese assertiveness in maritime zones and seeking freedom from navigation. So what is this Chinese claim? China's 9-line claim. So you can see here, south to China, the South China Sea is there, and Philippines is here. And China is claiming that China is building some artificial islands in this region, and China having claim on natural islands also. And China saying that in this region is their exclusive economic zone. This is China's 9-line claim. And China is resisting other nation to do their activities in this region, that they are claiming that South China Sea is their like territorial water or their exclusive economic zone. So introduced in 1947, China's 9-dash claim up to 90% of South China Sea and considered illegal under the international law, notably rejecting in a Hague's ruling 2016. And China has since built artificial islands, militarized the region, and blocked other nations accessing to that exclusive economic zone. Another important news, RBI's digital payment index. The fact is that digital payment index rose to 493.22, higher rose to, okay, from 465.33 in September 2024. And it reflects continued growth in the digital payment adoption across India and 5 key parameters of RBI's digital payment index. One is payment enabler, the weight is 25%, payment infrastructure demand, payment infrastructure supply, then payment performance, and consumer centricity. These are the 5 parameters of RBI's payment index, digital payment index. And today is a historic Hiroshima Day. So it's to commemorate the atomic bombing of Hiroshima in Japan by United States in 1945 during the Second World War, and marks the first use of nuclear weapon. After this only that danger of nuclear weapon got exposed in front of the world, and this nuclear non-proliferation treaties and CBDT, like comprehensive test banning treaties, everything started coming up. And the remainder of devastating consequences of nuclear warfare that called for a peace and disarmament. The consequence was that immediate death was around 80,000. By the end of 1945, the death rose to 140,000, and injuries 10 or thousands injured, like the injury like can't count that that much, and radiation sickness, cancer, and genetic damages. And why did it happen? US aimed to end Second World War quickly and show the strength to Japan and deter the USSR. Then expansion of the post-war era. Okay, and during Cold War, actually the deterrence was there, and Japan surrendered on August 15, 1945, marking the end of Second World War. Finally, current affairs drill question of the day. With reference to RBI's Financial Inclusion Index, consider the following statement. The Financial Inclusion Index measures financial inclusion on a scale of 0 to 100, where 100 represents full financial inclusion. It publishes semi-annually by the Reserve Bank of India. The index is based on 3 parameters: assets, usage, and quality. The Financial Inclusion Index has a base year of 2015-16, similar to some other economic indices. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? The options are given here. Comment your right answer in the comment section below.